So hello and welcome back to pitch number 1 here at Calgary Rugby Park. Doug Cross bringing you action between BC1 and Equipe Quebec here at Calgary Rugby Park, where we've had a great day of rugby so far. I want to thank some of our partners here who are helping bring us the games. They include DHL, Gowling's Law Firm, the Government of Canada, Under Armour, CN, Enterprise Public Relations, Marsh Insurance, Merit Travel, Scrummaster.com, Shawnigan Lake, Bouchard Gardens, and Helijet. So taking a look at the lineups for this match, BC1 in the front row, Gavin Kratz along with Flynn Hayes and Kyle Joe. Christoph Stangl and Wiley Gillette in the second row. Jay Richards is in the back row with Michael Smith. Michael Mann is the number 8. Halfback pairing of Jackson Sylvester Lee and Logan Martin Feek. A couple of double barrel names there for you. Josh Long and Elias Ergas in the centers. And Colton Zaichley on one wing. David Wensley on the other. Jared Thind is the fullback, and then looking at the replacements, Sam Turner, Nick Pierce, Chris Combs, Lucas DeVries, Will Sauter, Tyler Nylander, Brenning Bravos, Sam Hughes, Charlie Moore, and Riley Burns. For Equipe Quebec, the front row is Marco Caza, Trevor Ward, and Paul Mangione. Kyle Miller and Carl Hunger are in the second row. Vigo Moniz and William Henriksen in the back row with Andrew Augustus at number 8. Stanislaus Blaskowski is the scrum half. Brody Vancour is the fly half. Thomas Burton and Nicholas Delanzo in the centers. Christopher Yassa, one wing. Evan Norris, the other. Jackson Matthews is your fullback. Thomas Provencal, Brendan Harriman, Andrew Richards, Jack Page, Liam Torden, Julian Constant Mayford, Colin Frost, Justin Davies, Tristan Villiers, and Tristan Villarreal will make up your replacements bench. So shot of Equipe Quebec there, huddling up tight. Quebec rugby on the ascension in this country. The women's team of Quebec coming in second place at the recent NWL Festival, wrapped up on Sunday. They were the defending champions, but just great programs all around. Doug Emery from Alberta is going to be the referee for this one, running things in the center. So conditions have been near perfect for rugby here this afternoon, as we're 23, 24 degrees, not a lot of humidity, very dry here in Alberta compared to what we're used to in Ontario. So it makes the warm weather a little more bearable. PC is going to be wearing white jerseys, blue shorts. From the looks of it, they will be playing from right to left on your field. Matt Cross been bringing you pictures all day today. We have to apologize, folks. We brought the backup tripod, which is seen its better days come and gone. So the other tripod is close by, and we're going to have a much smoother day for you picture-wise tomorrow. But Matt's done yeoman's work with a tough piece of equipment. Honestly, if you could shoot tripods to put them out of their misery, this one should have been dead a couple of years ago. So, and I think Matt would be doing the shooting from the sounds of it. So Quebec lining up almost like they're ready to receive a hawker or something. Now BC has done their cheer and gotten that out of their system. We will get underway here. 2 30-minute halves here at the under 16 level. Go to nationalfestivalrugby.com to check out all the results from all the different divisions. Over 1,000 kids playing rugby here this week in Calgary as we're underway. The scrum or fullback Jared Thind getting things going here for BC1. So Quebec establishing possession here from the kickoff and immediately pushed back. Look at the big tackles being put in by BC1. BC providing a number of teams at this tournament as there was no rolling away in the ruck. So Quebec with the first advantage here penalty-wise. When we arrived on Monday in Calgary, the BC flight had just arrived, and I think other than the flight attendants, it must have been just full of BC players. There was at least 4 men's teams on that flight, and I think girls teams came on a different flight. But impressive looking bunch, and glad that they're providing extra competition as they have the numbers to support it. What a high line out there. Quebec has taken it. Both jumping pairs just getting right up there now. A bit of a bobbled pass, and that mistake is immediate pressure for Quebec as BC comes pouring through. That ball's been stolen, but knock on from the turnover, so it'll be scrum to Quebec. So Quebec with the put in. Stanislas Blaskowski is under pressure. He's tackled. Blue jerseys turning around, but too late now. That ball's been turned over, and that gets out to the very quick wing, Colton Zaichley. He is nearly bundled into touch with the ball, but the play stays alive. A Quebec player nearly offside. And now a big thundering run from Jay Richards. He's a back row player, but they have him marked down as a front row replacement if needed. I can see why. He is quite a package in there. And then the delayed distribution from Logan Martin Feek. He may have held on that a moment too long as he's wrapped up. Jackson Sylvester Lee now looking for his option. He'll go left. Josh Long nearly to the line. He is over the line. Try given. Josh Long in the opening minutes of this contest. BC1 puts their first marker down. So 5-0. This game is just under 3 minutes old. That was a good bit of work by the center, Josh Long. He made a hard step right, planted his left foot, and then knew where he was and just fell over the line. There wasn't much people could do about that. So Logan Martin Feek will try and add another 2 points here. Wind has been picking up over the course of the afternoon. Nice conditions, but always the threat of a late afternoon thunder shower when the temperatures start going up and there's some cool air coming off the mountains. Doesn't take much to mix yourself up a T-storm. And that one is going to go to the left, so we'll stay at 5-0. So we're going to have a replacement already for Quebec. And it is number 22 coming on the field for Quebec, Colin Frost. We got, it's probably a blood sub, it looks like it. Yeah, they're going to try and stop the bleeding on number 4, Christoph Stangl, who is having a problem with his nose, sprung a leak. There's the restart taken by British Columbia. And look at the powerful running by number 8, Michael Mann. Reaching in there, Sylvester Lee. Quick offload to Wiley Gillette. Sylvester Lee now back to his fly half. A bit of extra attention paid to Sylvester Lee late after he got that ball away. He got schmutzed by a Quebec player. Nice clearance kick down the field. Here's Quebec struggling to break free from inside their own 22-meter line. Right-footed kick goes right to Sylvester Lee, the scrum half. He'll run it right back at him, and he is collared high. And maybe that's going to be the call, is the high tackle there. No, offside. So some massive kickers on this BC team, not the least of which is Logan Martin Feek. To be able to do a clearance kick all the way down to the 22, he did well on that one. So that's found touch. Inside the 22 of Quebec. Check this camera for a sec, folks. Chance here for BC to put some pressure on this Quebec scrum. See if they can push them back and get possession. Breeze picking up quite a bit now. Just after 3 o'clock here Tuesday afternoon in Calgary. Quebec has that ball at the back foot. They need to get this out cleanly. Quick zap pass to the fly half, Brody Vancouver. It doesn't find touch. Oh, yes, it does. Yeah. Folks tuning into this from across the country. Great to see such supportive numbers. A lot of parents probably wish they could be in Calgary or sneaking a look at their computers in La Belle Province and British Columbia, trying to catch a view of their sons in action. Quick in, but that ball's been stolen by BC1. Down the line. This is some good work from Elias Ergas. He offloads to his inside partner, Josh Long. Scored the first try for BC1. And Sylvester Lee, he got rid of that, and I feel like that might have been forward. Ball off the fingertips, went into the hands of Kyle Joe. The fullback, Jared Thine, linking up there. And now the fullback Thine trying to cross again, met by a blue wall of resistance. Gavin Kratz, he offloads with a backwards pass to Josh Long. Now kick through by Quebec. Ball goes back. Another counter here by BC1. No mistake from the flanker to Thind now. Thind will score. Jared Thind touching down. And now looking for a little advice is Doug Hamey. No try. J.C. Gilbert said there was a knock on at the line, and so that try is rescinded, and they will have a scrum to Quebec, 5 meters out. So while they've avoided the try, certainly other things to deal with here as BC1 threatens. So Colin Frost has come off the field as we see Kyle Miller back in there after getting some repairs to his nose. Now number 17 for BC1, Nick Pierce coming onto the field. Injured player coming off. Likely either Gavin Kratz. Yeah, I think it'll be Gavin Kratz. It is indeed Gavin Kratz coming off the field. He's limping pretty heavily. Hopefully that's not the end of his tournament. The fact that he's walking means with some ice and stretching and things like that, he could be in good shape in the next couple of days because this is a long tournament. Big push on by BC1, pressuring right at the line. Has that ball been touched down by a BC hand? No, it'll be scrum back 5. So Quebec took that ball across the line and touched it down in order to avoid any more pressure from BC1, but they've bought exactly that, a bucket load more pressure in the form of a scrum 5 meters out. Sylvester Lee trying to get that ball in clean. Number 8 for BC1, Michael Mann, has taken it into contact, and he's off the ground, picked up by Quebec back row players. And he's returned safely to earth. And now a try given. And it looks like number 3, Kyle Joe, has gotten that. So good stuff from BC1 as they increase their lead to 10-0. 12 minutes gone in this contest. 30-minute halves. So it'll be the fly half, Logan Martin Feek, to take this conversion kick. Just a step inside the 22-meter line. On a straight line diagonal left. Shouldn't have too much problems with this kick. Well struck ball, that splits the uprights to make it 12-0. So Quebec doing a lot of tackling out there. They haven't had a lot of possession. So you might see a high kickoff here as they try and hold on to the ball for a few minutes, get this ball away from BC1. So which direction will Quebec go? They're going to go right. That's a well-weighted kick, but BC getting that's off the hands of the try scorer, Kyle Joe. So advantage to Quebec here just outside the 22 from the knock-on. Disrupted pass, misses its target, bounces off of number 5, Carl Hunger, but now penalty has seen BC1 fall back a few more paces. Scrum half, Blazkowski, passing that to flanker Vigo Moniz. This would help Quebec a lot if they could come away with some points on this trip down to the BC end. Stolen again at the breakdown. seems to be a real problem point for Quebec. They take that ball into contact and then they lose it. Mishandled midfield. So the scrum will net a benefit to keep Quebec. So BC1 pushing that Quebec scrum back, but clean ball. Now kick over the top. No one's home, really. Two Quebec players racing for it, and just a BC hand, the wing over there, Colton Zaichley, knocking that through the dead ball side in goal area. So it's going to be a scrum back or a 22-meter dropout. That'll be a 22-meter dropout. Okay, so BC1 knocking that through the side of the in-goal area. Confusion from BC1. It's a 22-meter restart. All you got to do is kick it over that little white line. And that's a great, interesting restart. BC1 player gets to it over on that side. That's a handy bit of work by the big forwards over there to get under it. So BC1 going phase after phase here. Oh, and some fancy running from Michael Mann is brought to a halt as he loses the handle going into contact, but he's gotten it back. Oh, no, that was his second row mate there, Christoph Stangl. Oh, not much of a touch finder as the fullback, Jackson Matthews from Quebec, saw a bunch of traffic coming his way and decided, I better just get this off my foot and we can reset here with a line out. Sometimes that's not the worst thinking. Trevor Ward is marking his opposite number, Flynn Hayes, who just threw in for BC1. Oh, and there's an open lane for the outside center for BC1. Number 13 has scored, Elias Ergas. Third try for BC, and you can feel that the Quebec cart is getting just a little wobbly. Taking the score up to 17-0 with 18 minutes gone. Flags go up for the extra points to take it up to 19-0. So Quebec really needs to respond next in terms of scoring if they want to stay within touching distance of this BC1 team. It's great having Flo Rosigneau of Equipe Quebec doing some commentating with Gareth Reese. Our previous match, try and get them into the booth a bit more so people don't overload on the Doug Cross network. We would love to have some guest announcers, not too many folks around to do that kind of stuff, but welcome your input if you're in the Calgary area and feel like you could give us a hand with some announcing. That'd be terrific. Stepping into a few Quebec tacklers. BC1 on the front foot now. That ruck collapsing a little bit. More players pouring in there for BC1 to just establish that a bit. And now it's not a penalty. I don't know. It's going to be a scrum. I don't know why Quebec's backing off. Yeah, now they realize that It was taken in by Quebec, and BC1 wasn't able to dig it out, so advantage BC for the scrum here. BC1 now they're retreating from the scrum, and quick hands, Quebec down the line. Thomas Burton. That ball's been stolen though. Now the penalty against Quebec. Elias Urgas, who just scored a try. Now one-handed pass by Kyle Joe. And BC just eating up huge swaths of territory with each touch of the ball. The knock-on stopping the forward progress now. Quebec will have the throw in. So we're going to have a change on the BC1 side. Player is getting attention. I don't know if he's going to be replaced yet. Taking a look at the under-18 men's team action so far today. Saskatchewan beating Manitoba 21-14. PEI losing to New Brunswick 12-5. It was Alberta 26-10 winners over Newfoundland, and BC2 beat Ontario 3 19-10. Looking at the U18 women's schedule, as number 22 Brennan Provost comes on for second time in this game as a replacement. Big scrum by BC1, pushing Quebec back, but ball staying Quebec side. Some flat passes, and now that's a bit more like it from we keep Quebec just over halfway. Oh, a little goose step as he ran into the line. As the back row player William Henriksen for Quebec. Knock-on advantage coming. Knock-on by BC, so Quebec will have the scrum. So looking at under-18 women's action from today. Ontario beating Quebec 13-7. That was right here on field 1 to start our day. Alberta 7, BC 19. Nova Scotia 29-0 winners over Manitoba. And that does it for that division. Here we have a scrum with Quebec putting it in. They've split their back line. Fancy their chances to do something good here. Quick offload to the scrum half. Stanislas Boskowski. Loose ball. I think it's been stolen by those feisty flankers from BC. Vigo Moniz has stolen it, but not before a hands in the ruck call from the referee. Clearance kick by Quebec now. I'll take him deep into BC1 territory. About maybe 10 meters away from BC1 line. Results from the under-16 men's division. BC 2, 82. New Brunswick, nothing. Ontario 2, nothing. Ontario 1, 74. What a gap between those two Ontario teams. Alberta scoring 60 points to Newfoundland's nothing. As Quebec organizing their first drive inside the BC 1 end. Just shy of the line. Those flankers and loose forwards of BC are just pouring through in numbers, and a knock-on will take away the threat as Quebec Give away the scrum right in front of the posts. And taking a look at under 16 girls action. Really only one game every day between Ontario and Alberta today. It's 48-7. Ontario beating Alberta in Ontario under 16 girls action. So BC1 trying to come away with possession there. Quebec expressing frustration. So we're 5 minutes away from halftime here. 19-0 the score. BC1 over Quebec. Quick tap ball now. Down the line. No look pass. And that was the problem. Didn't look. There was no receiver there. Ball goes into touch. As a result, it'll be throw in for BC. Quebec now on the counter-attack from the clearance kick. Nearly stripped of the ball. Jackson Matthews, the fullback. Boy, those back row forwards, just larcenous at the breakdown for BC1. The pick and drive now from Carl Hunger. It only goes about a meter. Linking up with Paul Mongioni. Contingent of Alberta players sitting in front of our position, scouting these two teams that they'll be playing later in the week. Flat pass to Quebec nearly dropped, but they hold on to it. That's a good bit of running, but again, the loose ball just getting shaken loose. Every time BC1 gets a hold of a Quebec player, that ball springs loose. And now the chip through and the follow through, and that's great piece of running from number 22, Brenning Provost. He was on as the replacement for an earlier blood sub, and now he's a permanent replacement as number 8, Michael Mann, goes across, knocked on at the line. So that's a couple of times now BC1 has been denied at the line because of the knock-on. Quebec with that possession at the back foot of the scrum. Now they're under some pressure, not before penalty being called from Hamey, the referee from Alberta. So Quebec with a touch-finding kick into the stands. And final 30 seconds of this first half. $80 meters to go to get on the scoreboard here. Form sheet suggests Quebec might struggle with that at this point. Trevor Ward will do the throwing for Quebec here. Early lift from BC. Finds Quebec target somewhat. Batted around in the air. Goes to ground. BC putting on immense pressure. No look pass in goal now. And the midfield's going to have to deal with that on its own 1 meter line. BC wants to steal that ball bad, and they have, and that's Thind, the fullback. I don't think he's across. Now a player's across, the hand is up, and who was that? Looks like a second row player. That'll be likely the last action of this first half. Conversion kick to come. So either Christoph Stangl or Wiley Gillette that scored there. So it was Wiley Gillette. Flags go up, and so we'll add another 7 points to the total here, 26-0 at halftime. Going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more National Festival Rugby from Calgary Rugby Park. You're watching BC 1 over Quebec, 26-0. Back with more in a moment. So back with second half action here. BC1 leading 26-0 over Quebec here at Calgary Rugby Park, Field 1. Quebec will restart this. Quebec looking for first points on this afternoon, this U16 competition. Thomas Burton gets it underway. That's a nice kick. And BC immediately showing their intention to run right back at Quebec. Nick Pierce, replacement player for BC1. And that's good work by Jackson Sylvester Lee, the scrum half. Now high probing kick to the fullback, Jackson Matthews of Quebec. He steps inside a couple more would-be tacklers. He's done well to stay on his feet, that ball coming back. But this is where BC1's been so good, is at the breakdown, just stealing that ball and balls popping out in tackle situations. Oh, bit of a poor pass to the flanker, Vigo Moniz. But now Quebec kicking away possession. Don't understand that. Partially blocked, but will come back for a penalty. Amy bringing them all the way back. So that was from offside against BC1. So maybe getting a little too eager to get at those Quebec players, leaving early. So Quebec by themselves another 15-20 meters of space there, and so a legitimate chance here with the lineup. Sorry folks, I left our sponsor logo up there. So here's a keep Quebec with the line out, short line out, taken by Kyle Miller. Flat pass to Thomas Burton. Now again stolen by BC1. Don't know how many times we're going to say that. And they're just not retaining possession when they're going into the line. Knock on by Quebec. BC1 with the put in. Jackson Sylvester Lee gets us in from BC. Quebec getting on the board for the first time this afternoon, and they're excited about that. You got to believe it. Just tell you who that was in a second. Wearing the bright yellow boots, can't miss him. And they're feeling like they just won this game. And good for them. Thanks coming from all his teammates. Seeing that's the scrum half. Stanislas Blaskowski getting that one. So good on Quebec to get that goose egg off the board for them. 26-5. With the conversion attempt to come from Thomas Burton. So that has fired up this Quebec team. Flags stay down, so just 5 points on the board for Quebec. But they do have what I would characterize as a 10 to 15 point tailwind here. Nice little breeze at their back. So if they can start penning BC1 into their own half and putting the pressure on and maybe living off a few mistakes, they could score a few more points here. Don't know it'll be enough for the win, but certainly make themselves competitive in the second half. Restart. Oh, look at that one's going to have snow coming off of it as it comes to ground. That was off of a BC1 elbow, Michael Smith, the flanker. So Quebec with the advantage. Tight pass back to Vigo Moniz. That ball sprung out. They'll have to do something with it. They have Blaskowski in a panic move, but he gets it away. And now Burton chipping through. Now asking a few more questions of the back line from BC1. Logan Martin-Feek into a bit of trouble as the ball is stolen now. And still stays Quebec side. Oh, and that's picked up by Flynn Hayes, the hooker for BC1. Cagey bit of running. He was running in the loose, spotted the opportunity and intercepted the pass. And that is a touch-finding kick from BC to take the pressure off themselves a little bit. Trevor Ward throwing in for Quebec. Doesn't quite find his target, not straight. So BC1 will likely request scrum in 15. People getting a nice tan here in the main grandstand. Really couldn't ask for nicer conditions here this afternoon. Michael Smith coming back on the field for BC1. I think he is getting some nose repairs. Might have taken one on the beak, and now he's stopped the bleeding. Jackson Sylvester Lee, the scrum half, at the back foot of his scrum. One hopper off the foot of the fly half, Logan Martin-Feek. Quebec's got that ball now. Bit of an awkward pass, getting it over out to the wing and immediately snapped up under pressure. That ball staying Quebec's side. BC's got to be careful not to come in from the side there, and they've done that. Quebec trying to get second phase going here. Knock on. So that was against BC. So he's playing advantage from previous knock on back at the position he's indicating. Change on the BC1 line. Chris Combs coming on for BC1. That's for the hooker, Flynn Hayes. Just made that nice open field steal. Stanislaus Baskowski, the scrum half. We're in the blue number 9. That ball's taken against the head now. And BC will punish Quebec on this one, I think. Michael Mann showing what a big man he is in the back row for BC1. Quick pass inside, the link up from Logan Martin-Feek to Josh Long. And now picking and driving, getting a little isolated maybe, but BC1 there in numbers now. Now long cutout pass. Miss out pass to Thind, and then quick hands from 22, Provost to the outside lane. That's going to be a try for Colton Zaischler. Did he knock it on? We've had a couple of knock-ons at the line, and that's indeed what's happened here. No try given. As he was crossing the line, he lost the handle. So the scoreline could be a little bit bigger for BC1, but they've been losing the ball in key moments. Instead it'll be a line out. Looks like he stepped into touch before stripped that ball. So we have 3 changes coming up. One for Quebec, wearing number 23 coming on as Justin Davey, and then number 20 and 21 coming on for BC, Will Sauter and Tyler Nylander. That's a replacement for wing David Wensley, and inside center Josh Long has had a good afternoon of rugby. hands flat down the line, and it's fly half now. Martin Feek, and I think he scored. Logan Martin Feek has touchdown, and those quick changes netted some instant results, pushing the score to 31 to 5. So I don't want to take that fiver away from Quebec. After this, Saskatchewan versus New Brunswick, under 18 men's action, coming up at 4:30. So this game has got 20 minutes left in it. So it'll end around 10 after 4, and we'll be back in action at 4:30 with that final game of the day. And the conversion was good, so that takes us up to 33 to 5. What can Quebec do to cut this margin down? I think they can play a bit smarter and just hold on to that ball, work with each other a little tighter at the breakdowns. That just goes 10. Now all of a sudden BC's got to deal with it. They thought it was going to be a scrum center, and now it's Tyler Nylander passing it down the line. One hop pass now to the number 8, Michael Mann. BC happy to pass that down the line. Thine gets caught. That ball's gone forward from the tackle situation, and right in front of our position we'll have a scrum. That'll be Quebec put in. Justin Davey is the scrum half now, replacing Stanislas Blaskowski. That's scrum moving early. That's against BC. Quick tap ball. Quebec line spreading out, seeing if they can get something done here, but the passing just not crisp enough by Keep Quebec. Quick service from the replacement, Justin Davey. As BC come away with this again. They have ostensibly, with the referee saying, hey, Quebec took it in, didn't do anything with it, your scrum. Jackson Sylvester Lee will put it in. Quebec, BC and Quebec. We have number 22, Colin Frost, coming on for Quebec. A few more changes coming on for BC. Who will Frost replace here? See that number, Matt? Oh, it's number 5. Carl Hunger. 16 and 24 coming on for BC. Sam Turner and Charlie Moore come on to the field. And replace number 8, Michael Mann, and number 3, Kyle Joe. Kyle Joe had a real strong game in the front row, and he's like an extra flanker out there in the loose. Jackson Sylvester Lee will get this ball in. Tackle by Quebec. They've maybe snapped up that loose ball. Quick offload from Justin Davier. Nice spin pass now. They're kind of falling back with each touch of the ball, however. BC1 putting a lot of pressure on as Davier offloads. Look at that ball stolen again by BC. Not releasing the tackled player, so BC will retreat 10 meters. Trevor Ward still throwing in for Quebec here. Oh, and that ball's gone wayward off a Quebec hand and the line out, and so good first up instinct from William Henriksen, but that ball went forward in the line, so scrum in 15. That scrum's moving early. They got to get that ball in. BC1's got it. It's come against Quebec now. Has got it. Justin Davier. So Quebec a bit on the ascendancy, but not with passes like that. That's going to put them into trouble all day long. They can't be doing out the miss ones and miss twos and miss everyone's, because then it puts themselves under pressure to clean up that mess. Penalty coming against Quebec. Well, it's not a penalty, just they took it in, and so turnover. Unplayable ball. Quick ball to the back foot. BC. Oh, and he just left a little early. The scrum half for Quebec. Justin Davier guessed too early. So advantage coming again. I think they've played within the 10 meters. That's what it's going to be. And could see a yellow card coming to Quebec soon. Now inside the 22. I feel like BC1's maybe gone off the boil in the last few minutes, but now they're getting things going again. 18-meter line. Spin pass from the scrum half. Jackson Sylvester Lee. Quick pair of hands now. That's the wing on that side. Can he cut back in? Yes, he can. Tyler Nylander has touchdown for BC. Thought he might get cut down just as he was coming to the line. That takes it to 38-5. So 49 minutes gone in this game. Thanks to all of you who are watching and giving us all the feedback and everything around the country. It's terrific to be able to bring you these games. A couple thousand people taking in action from Field 1 today so far. And constant churn of audience as different parts of the country are involved. That's a conversion kick that will go across the front of the post. So we'll stay at 38-5. So at this point, Quebec's got to be just interested. Let's score one more try here, guys. Let's see if we really can put something together and get a second try on the board. Get into double digits points-wise. Sometimes it can be frustrating playing against a strong team. So you've just got to create the mini challenges and then build those into something else. Wiley Gillette. He passes off to the flanker, Michael Smith. He's got some gauze up his nose, which will affect his breathing, like sponging a horse in a Kentucky Derby race. Oh, and that ball is taking an awkward, good Quebec bounce just as it went into touch. A Quebec player got tackled. We have a BC1 player went down kind of awkwardly on that side as well. Nine minutes left in this contest. Just after 6 in the evening Eastern time. Just after 4 o'clock here in Calgary. Oh, and Justin Thine thought he was helping out, but instead he's added a whole world of trouble to his backline mates. And now he's cleaned up his own mess somewhat, getting that ball into touch. Jared Thine got a hand to it. Thought he was doing the quick kind of volleyball relay. Instead it went straight back, and a Quebec player was right there to challenge for it as Michael Smith gets his hands on that ball. And he's got to be really suffering, not breathing out of that one nostril. So penalty against BC, crooked arm penalty. Davier looking for his option here. Now that's William Henriksen into the line for Quebec. Quick chirp of the whistle there. Unplayable. And Marco Kaza had other ideas. Thought he'd come out of that pile with the ball legitimately and was going to score unaccosted. But you know, we'll have the scrum back here. Marco, we need you in the front row. Oh, and it changed to it's a BC put in. I think Quebec thought they had to put in. That was the indication at first, and then Doug Hamey realized his error and said, oh, no, sorry, BC, you get to put this in. So we've got a new scrum half in there, I believe, for BC. It snuck on the field when we weren't looking. Now the take and the offload from second row, Wiley Gillette to 23, Sam Hughes, who's the scrum half now for BC1. He was taken into touch rather roughly. He's okay if you're watching at home, Mom. He's a tough-looking character. Maybe spends a little too much time on his hair. That's some nice hair, coming from a guy who doesn't have any. The throw-in overthrow at the BC line now. That's a good bit of work from the flanker, Jay Richards. He feeds that back. Hughes, good service to midfield. Thine, linking up well to 24, Charlie Moore. And BC1 just eating up huge chunks of land now with each touch of the ball. Now chip over the top, asking some questions. That came from Will Sauter. And that's a huge fend off. And that just leaves the Quebec defender flat. And that is the fly half, Logan Martin Feek. And I don't know if there might be some action taken on that fend-off. I mean, fend-off's a fend-off. Allowed to do it, but boy, just flattened the Quebec player over there. Score goes up to 43-5. About 5 minutes left now in this game. And that's got to sort of depress Quebec a little bit as the tries are starting to come. We have number 16, Thomas Provencal, and number 17, Brandon Heyman coming on. Oh, and off the post, so it'll stay at 43 with about 4 minutes to go in this match now. Quebec will get this restarted. It's going to be number 12, Thomas Burton. He's been doing most of the kicking this afternoon. It's a high restart. Taken cleanly by the second row, Wiley Gillette. Oh, and that pass is knocked down. Oh, that's a great offload from Logan Martin Feek. Now BC up to the Quebec 22. Reorganizing themselves a bit now. Bit of a loose pass. Oh, that could be trouble. And now, well done. The BC player wasn't able to get to it. Number 4, Christophe Stangl, and number 20 for Quebec, Liam Torden, came through and said, "I'll take that, thank you, out of my way." And loose balls just starting to haunt BC1 here in the last minute. Christophe Stangl with it again. And they'll reestablish their platform. Things getting a little spicy around the edges now. Justin Thine tries to kick through, comes right back at him. So we'll take the knock on off of Thine to himself. Justin Davier waiting to get this ball back into action here. Less than 2 minutes left in this game now. With Saskatchewan and New Brunswick coming up next at 4:30. Bit of good interplay in the Quebec back line there. But immediately BC just smothering. They're leaving their feet though. And now they'll have to go back 10. That was off the previous penalty there. Honestly, I think Doug Hamey was within his rights to maybe throw a yellow down once or twice for BC at the breakdown. So quick tap ball by Quebec. Oh, and Brody Vancourt couldn't do anything with it. Quebec getting frustrated now. Just a simple passing sequence goes to ground. So it'll be Sam Hughes with it. And by the time this ball gets in the scrum, I think they'll be looking at that scoreboard clock and hoping that's the time that's being used by the referee. It might not match up. I've seen that happen a few times in the last few weeks where the stadium clock doesn't match the perceived time of the referee. Players are kicking it into touch or doing odd things. thinking the game's over, and there's still more game to be played. Tight spin pass to Logan Martin Feek. Now that's getting out to Tyler Nylander. Scored a nice try a couple of minutes ago. He's wrapped up by some intense Quebec tackling. Oh, nice offload back inside by Will Sauter. Oh, no look pass to keep it in play. That was some good stuff, but the touch flag went up. Nathan Abdenauer feeling bad. He has to put the flag up, but the foot had hit the line before the pass was flung back. And this will be last touch of the ball here. Quebec has got the throw in. So next time this ball goes dead, as long as it's not a penalty, it will be game over for Quebec and BC1. And that's stolen by BC. It's gone to ground. They just want to get it out. Now they're throwing it around, and then Nylander decides, what am I doing? Let's just get this out of play. And that's what's happened. That is your final score. 43-5. Quebec beats, BC1 beats Quebec in a spirited contest. Next up, we'll have Saskatchewan and New Brunswick. We'll leave the stream live and have more action coming up for you at about 28 after the hour. Thanks for watching. Back with more in a bit.